In a lot of my videos I use my robot voice, but I think I should use my real voice for this one because this is a pretty serious topic. I've been in a few dramas here and there, but this is the first one where it's directly focused on me and it's really big. I've been asking a lot of people for advice. Some people told me to go into hiding. Others told me not to apologize and fight back. Don't give in to the mob, they're just stupid SJWs. I should just apologize and start off with a big sigh at the beginning. I don't think it's a good idea to apologize when you don't realize what you're apologizing for, because if you do that, it's just empty. Almost all of my videos are unscripted, and I basically do all of them in one take. And because of that, every now and then I can say a few questionable things. I didn't receive a whole lot of backlash. I mean, it could be worse. I could be Hopeless Peaches or Turkey Tom right now. And despite all the ways people have told me to respond to this, I think it's best if I ignore all the advice and do what I think is best. I'm going to be 100% honest here. I am a white guy. Surprisingly, some people thought I was black for the longest time. I don't know why they thought that. I kept my race hidden for a very long time because I wanted people to judge me on what I was saying and not for how I looked. But as I got bigger and bigger, I knew the truth would be revealed one day. So I just did a face reveal when I hit 115k. Some people even used to think I was a woman really early on. My artist who drew my Just a Robot avatar thought I was black, and she drew a black version of my avatar, which I decided to use in a video talking about black supremacy. But unfortunately, I didn't say it until towards the end, and some people were led to believe that I was black. And when Professor Dreadlock did a video with me, at the end we had a few bloopers where he called me the soft A N-word about 2 times, which might have led some people into believing that I was black. I don't really sound black, at least I don't think I do. And my robot avatar was white, but I guess I really should have made it more clear that I was white. But I want to make this clear, I'm basically 100% European. I don't think I'm a racist person, but I have a hard time relating to certain minority groups. While I don't believe there's a strong biological difference between white and black people, except for when it has to do with getting sunburnt, I do think there's a big societal and cultural difference. The lives of white and black people in America is fundamentally different. I am not black. I will never be black. And I never will know what it's like to be black. In the past, I have used the N-word a few times. Not directly calling anyone it, and mostly using the GA one. But in my iDubbbz video, I did use the hard R N-word when I was quoting iDubbbz saying it to Tanta Montague. At the time I thought, as long as you don't directly call anyone it can't be racist. In the last few days, I have done my best to do my research and grasp the full offense of the word. But unfortunately, my moral compass is do unto others as you would like to be treated. But that doesn't work all the time. There are many white slurs, cracker, honky, but I've never met a white guy who was offended by the word cracker. The most offensive one to me is white boy, and I'm more offended by the boy part than the white part. I haven't used the N-word on my current channel, at least as far as I'm aware. Is saying the N-word not to anyone, but just saying it racist? Is it not? Well, giving up a word completely, so people don't get hurt by it, even if it's a very small minority, sounds like a small price to pay. I mean, really, when you get down to it, what use does the word even really serve? I think everybody should stop using it, not just white people. I understand it's ingrained in our pop culture ever since the 80s. But if black people keep saying it, it's not going to be gone for good, and it's going to encourage white people to say it as well. I understand the whole reclaiming of the N-word thing, because it used to be used to put black people down. I guess I don't fully grasp the concept of what the whole end goal is here. A lot of different black people have different views on this, just like a lot of different white people have different views on this. But I myself will stop using it because it is a small price to pay. I feel like 2 groups of people are grabbing me on each arm. One is pulling me saying, hey, be more progressive and sensitive towards people. And others are saying, be an edgelord. Offenses taken, not given. Nothing really makes sense to me. It's so bizarre that iDubbbz can say the N-word so many times, but practically no one cares. Yet more people are angry at him for being a simp because that's just what his audience is like. There's a 2-minute compilation of Pyrocynical saying the N-word, yet more people are right now more mad at Turkey Tom for saying it when he was young. Granted, Tom did use it in a far more harsh way than Pyrocynical did. What was cool and edgy 5 years ago is seen as offensive now. What is seen as progressive and tolerant now is going to be made fun of in a few years. I don't think people who make racist jokes are racist. Usually they're imitating a racist and it's shock humor. Some Native Americans find the term Native American to be offensive and they actually prefer the term Indian. Some black people don't like the term African American because not all black people are from Africa. No one speaks for their entire group, and as hard as I might try, I'm not going to please everyone. There's so many different philosophy debates on what is right, what is wrong. Can it ultimately be measured? Is there such a thing as good and evil? Is it better to stand out in the crowd or conform with society? Many cultures and groups have their own opinions on what they think is right and what they think is wrong, and to outsiders they can seem completely crazy. The only thing to me that I know is true, or at least I think I know is true, is that hypocrisy is the only objectable sin. But in the end, we're all hypocrites in one way or another. Throughout my life I have met and been friends with many different types of people. Trans people who use 4chan way too much, communists who are Black Lives Matter activists, and people who are even proud racist. Is it because of the way they were born that they act the way they do? Or was it their life circumstances along with the society they grew up in that molded them into the person they are now? Are we like Frankenstein, born a blank slate but changed through society? Or are we Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, with both good and evil within all of us? Maybe a little bit of both, maybe neither. Ultimately, it's up to all of us, as individuals, to decide for ourselves with our subjective opinions on what is and isn't right. Some of the things people have said about me are false, some of them are true, but you can say that with basically any drama ever. I used to tell my videos, blank doesn't understand blank, but right now, I'm the one who doesn't understand. All I can ask is that you guys be patient with me, and help me see things from your perspective. Help me to understand you, so I know how to be better in the future. Everybody can be a little bit racist sometimes, and we all have a few unconscious biases that we're sometimes not always aware about. I don't have any direct hatred of any group of people, not gays, trans people, or any minority groups. But all my friends who are these things say I make jokes that sometimes can go a little bit too far. I do apologize for saying the N-word. There was no need for me to say it, and it was uncalled for. I shouldn't have said to a guy that he doesn't look Native American enough. I don't know the guy's life. He could have grown up on a reservation. I don't think he wanted to even ask the question. He was just doing his job. And as someone who is a working man, it's pretty frustrating when people are insulting you for doing your job. I remember I was holding up a sign that told people to social distance. Some guy walked up to me and said, "I know you're doing your job, but you're not welcome here." And yeah, that didn't make me feel so good. So I am sorry for what I said. I was trying to answer every BuzzFeed question without answering it with "I don't," like a lot of other people have. Sorry for calling the actress who played Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter play ugly. I really wasn't calling her ugly because she was black. I just thought her teeth was kind of funky, but yeah, it wasn't really called for at all. I should have just said, Ron is not a ginger. Oh, and Hermione's black, but who cares about that? Ron is not a ginger. That's what's really important. I am sorry. That was really uncalled for. I'm also sorry for saying that Izzy looks like a map. I mostly said it because she was in a bunch of clown makeup, like Pennywise from the movie It, and he's always chasing after kids. That was the joke I was trying to make. But I really should have made that more clear. And throwing a term like that around is really not cool. I really wasn't trying to call her one or compare her to one. Me and my friends joke around with this stuff, calling each other Chester the child molester. But I can see how it can get misconstrued in a video. I disagree with people saying I did blackface in my videos. I don't think having a black avatar every once in a while means I'm doing blackface. My artist made it for me at their own free will. I did not put in a request for them to make it for me. And I used it in a video where I was pretending to be a black supremacist. Some people may consider it blackface, some people don't. Before I made the video, I showed my black friend it, and he thought it was okay. But as I said earlier, no one speaks for their entire group. To me, it was no more racist than a black guy putting on a KKK outfit and making fun of white nationalists. I really wasn't trying to do it to mock all black people, just racist ones, and that's it. I saw a few other YouTubers doing it, and I guess that's why I thought it was okay. I remember Ponder Sprocket went through a similar situation with her own character. I'm personally not offended when black guys do whiteface, but then again, there's not a history with whiteface in the same way there's a history with blackface. It's a double standard, but, you know, some double standards will always exist. And I especially don't think it's blackface when I paid my artist to make an avatar of my friend Professor Dreadlock. It's not a black version of me, it's just done in the same art style. The majority of things that people are angry at me for are things I have said 3 to 4 years ago. Most of it was back in 2016 when YouTube was at its peak anti-SJW phase. I don't think being an SJW or an anti-SJW automatically makes you right or wrong or anything like that. And while I do think my answering the BuzzFeed question videos are good for the most part, a few of my points definitely could have been worded better, and I shouldn't have made fun of anyone's appearance. Making fun of the way someone looks is not really an argument, and not that many people even found it funny. I myself have kyphosis, and I wish more people pointed it out to me so I could fix it earlier in life. I am now wearing a back brace to fix it. There's a constant argument going on if we should point out if someone is fat or not so they can actually work on their weight and be more healthy in life. But I think it would be better if I said it in a way like I did in my Sovereign Citizen video, where I said that one of the Sovereign Citizens looks like the gay love child of Quentin Reviews in The Amazing Atheist. It's not only less offensive, but it's also funnier. Recently, a clip from one of my videos has been going around from my American History X video, where I compared the life of Gazi Kozo, a pretty well-known black supremacist, to the life of the main character from American History X. I played it because it sounded like my outro. I tried to make it clear in that video that I love the film for its portrayal of hatred, in all fashion, and how it leads to only more hatred in the process. I believe this was more misunderstanding than someone taking me out of context, but I apologize nonetheless for how it could have come across. I was a bit ignorant in that regard. I'll link my African History X video down below, along with my Answering All the BuzzFeed Questions video, just so everybody can see the full context and come to their own conclusion. Some people think I should make a response video to the claims about me that are false, and I'm still debating on whether I should do that or not, but I think it would be best if I separate my apology from a debunking video. On the one hand, I am a bit upset about this situation, but I knew something like this would happen one day or another. It does suck that my old channel got hacked, so now I can't delete things that could be perceived as really offensive nowadays. But even if I did that, it would have been discovered eventually, so I think it's best to just take it on the chin for now. I do appreciate everybody who has came to my defense about this whole thing. But unfortunately, I'm not 100% right in this situation, and even most of the people defending me feel that way. Everyone has freedom of speech to make whatever jokes they want, but others have the freedom to either find those jokes funny or find those jokes offensive. I've been seeing a lot of comments from people saying, "As a black man, I find Jar to be racist," or, "As a black man, I don't think Jar is racist." I can't control how people feel or what their definition of the word is. Seems to have a different meaning to everyone nowadays. But this is how I personally feel. I was raised in a very Christian household, and I grew up in a very diverse community, and because of that I had friends of all different races. And we were all extremely homophobic. I truly had an actual hatred for gay people. Eventually I did grow out of it, but that hatred I had for gay people back then is not a hatred I have for any group now. So that's why I personally, with my subjective opinion, don't think I'm racist, because I've never had hatred for any minority group in the same way I used to have hatred for gay people. That's the main reason why I said in my Steven Universe video that I thought gay people had it worse than black people in America. I really wasn't trying to have a competition of who's more oppressed than who. And I do really feel sorry for people who are both black and gay. The last statement I want to talk about is when I said Planned Parenthood killed more black people than the KKK has. Planned Parenthood does really have a dark past. You can look into it if you want to. And I'm not going to make a statement on abortion, whether I think it's murder or not, because, oh boy, is that a touchy subject. I was trying to make a point about Planned Parenthood, but I really shouldn't have used the term killed more. I do really hate my voice. It's very emotionless, and I do sound sarcastic 24/7. Just please understand that a lot of the questionable things I have done are more so out of ignorance and incompetence than it is out of anger or hate. It's important to always remember that when people are angry at you, you can't put them all into the same basket. Some people are just joking and trolling around. Others are being oversensitive. And some people are taking the least charitable interpretation possible. I am going to be uploading a video on the 8th like I promised in my Hopeless Peaches video. But after that I'm going to be taking a break from the internet. And I am having a friend come over who's going to be living with me for a month. He's a black guy and he's my best friend, Professor Dreadlock. We're going to be looking through my videos together so I can reflect on a few things. No, I'm not trying to say I have black friends, therefore I can't be racist. Even Henry Ford had a black friend, George Washington Carver. Yeah, this is actually true, you can look it up. I know how a lot of my fan base is, and they want me to go back to being edgy like I used to be, but I never really got that far in the anti-SJW community. And I'm kind of also bored of identity politics, and I want to talk about other things. Some people might respond to this video, some people may say it's not good enough, but this is as good as I think I can make it. Now, unrelated to this whole thing, I want to apologize to my friends behind the scenes. I have been getting really angry as of late and losing my temper with a few of you. And for that, I am sorry.